Welcome back to the 2014 North American Challenger Series. It's time for Game 3 between LMQ and Teammate. If you missed the first two, tough. The next squad to take out a Nexus will earn a trip to the semifinals and guarantee themselves at least 7 Challenger points. And if you did miss the games, just go watch them again.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely worth watching. Watching Teammate's strategy and then LMQ's as a counter. Watch them back-to-back. They're
so great.
Very good. And just to recap for you, Game 2 was a complete 180 of Game 1. And this time it was LMQ who pushed around Team 8 from the start. And we talked about Xiaowei Xiao and Vasily in our pregame, but it was LMQ's top laner and their jungler. It was Ackerman and No Name who carried them to victory. Now, Ackerman, he went 7-0-1 on the rarely seen top lane Jarvan, including an endgame triple kill there. And it was a great setup with the Wombo combo that we had been expecting all game. The Orianna Shockwave straight into 3 people, Dissonance, Cataclysm, Hydra, Auto Attack. Just great setup there by
that was carnage.
By Xiaowei Xiao into Ackerman. Yeah, the team cohesion is just off the chart. The Game 1, it looked like they weren't their normal selves, and they shook off the rust, but Teammate might have just poked some holes in that armor, saying, you guys aren't good early if we pick lane bullies. But No Name, we talked about him in the jungle. He played a much more meta champion in Game 2, Elise, and he spun a web of destruction across the rift and finished at 3-0-8. Much more effect than his Jarvan in the first game, which wasn't great at all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad they took that Jarvan, threw it up to Ackerman in the top lane, and he just decimated.
It's strong. It definitely looks like something they want to always put into the team composition. It was shied away from for a long time. Dexter brought it out today, and it actually didn't show well. And sometimes, even when pros do poorly on a champion or it doesn't perform well, it doesn't come back from having a bad early game, then people kind of stay away from it. But we see him. He's still using it to great effect in that top lane.
Yeah, the margin of error on Jarvan, it used to be really big. Now it's really small. He gets punished a lot because he doesn't have the damage that we look for from a lot of junglers nowadays.
Right.
But Game 1, speaking of junglers, it was all about Teammates jungler Guess, who had that Vi, and he got shut down in Game 2 by No Name. It was complete 180. His Vi was unstoppable. It was open, and he opts for Pantheon.
Yeah.
I don't think he picked up a single kill that game. It didn't have the same effect.
It was tough for him. His Vi play was coming out so strong. Flash Qs into kills for himself. 2 double kills. He went bot lane, and then instantly after went top lane. Double kill. Facilitating that much pressure is kind of ridiculous. See what they have. Third game coming in here. Team 8 was able to win the first game quite handily, but then LMQ did the same thing. We're going to see him now swapping back over. LMQ back to the blue side. Cassidy was let through last time. That was given to Slushy, and LMQ got exactly what they wanted out of how Teammate played that composition. See what they do.
So they don't want Slushy to have the Riven. They don't want California Trolls to have his Nidalee. The Lulu is a very good ban here because it's the first pick LMQ. So you have to pretty much ban Lulu and Cassidy or leave one of them open and have a strategy. But Lulu plays right into the strengths of LMQ's team. They like that late game just team fight, and that's what Lulu brings to the table. We saw it so much throughout the NALCS today. And there's the Cassidy being banned out. At least no more for No Name. And now there's a lot of options here. Vi typically isn't up there in the champion pool, and they might go with something safe, but you do want to secure with your first pick a priority champion without showing too many of your cards.
Hopefully, that blind pick can be quite dangerous. We saw Ackerman actually getting his champion Jarvan last pick, last game. Let's see how they do it this time. It's gonna actually, wow, they're going to be taking away the Pantheon. Try to use that again.
And Guess might fall back on the Vi now.
Right.
It's open. He had a great showing on it. And No Name, I think I've seen him on Pantheon twice. And he typically ganks bottom lane because there's 2 targets there.
Yeah.
And there's 2 flashes to blow. Your ultimate basically has 100% more effectiveness because there's more options, more people, and more chaos you can create. Pantheon is very susceptible to counter ganks, though. So if you can pick somebody that, if you can be in the right place at the right time, we see Nocturne in the EU LCS as a counter to Pantheon.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and his damage isn't that high in comparison. Like, we see the Vi, great counter ganker to Pantheon. So is Elise. Elise is very good at that. Taken off the field, but we saw it last game. because as soon as he jumps in, you can cocoon him,
Yeah.
and he's in a very bad spot, and all the damage just soaks into him, and he can't get his defensive ability up from his passive. So Maple Street's actually going to go with a three-peat performance here on Lucian, and Guess is going to try to replicate his first game on Vi.
And Maple Street hasn't had, that's going to be an awesome. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
Talking about Maple Street, he hasn't had super great games coming. He's been even. Kind of that, if the team does good, he does good. If they don't, he falls behind kind of thing. So we'll see if he can. Going for the 3 on Lucian, which means he's feeling comfortable right now. It's going to be that wheelhouse for him. So should be pretty good. On the other side, more looking at that Thresh, but they said Annie delivered for us a little bit more.
So it's going to be Vasily versus Maple Street on the same champions 3 times in a row. And Maple Street, even though they were losing, he still wasn't giving up a lot of kills, and he was going even. And you were talking about how he's consistent. He's very consistent.
It helps.
But he's not carrying.
Right.
He's not dominating his lane. And Vasily, he's actually given up a lot of deaths in this series, almost mirroring his entire deaths over 8 games from the previous spring series. So Maple Street's giving him a run for his money, and so is Teammate. They are great competitors here against LMQ, and I wouldn't be surprised if either of these teams walk away. They've had a great showing.
Yeah.
And 7 points on the line. So if LMQ don't make it, they're still in the top 6. If Teammate don't make it, it's very hard to get up there with just 2, considering there's a lot of teams that have points.
Yeah. They want it, though.
That.
Both of them want it all the way right now. They need these points. LMQ as well, because it just puts them in a position that says, try to beat us. Look how much we're winning. You look at that amount of points, you're like, well, it's the David versus Goliath matchup. Here we go. But that's what a lot of people thought this might be. However, Teammate has really shown themselves to be a different caliber team than many thought, putting LMQ on their back foot very strong in that first game. And like you said, coming into a third game, you kind of have an idea of who's going to take it, but you have no idea. Even from the picks and bans here, high priorities on both sides, and like you said, 3 plays coming in for the 80 carries.
I have a feeling that Xiao would have played Orianna again, except Slushy opts to go ahead and pick his Gragas first, which you don't want to play Orianna into that matchup. It's something we saw at Worlds. Every time a Gragas was picked into Orianna, just decimated it. Orianna has no mobility to deal with the constant body slams and the displacement of the explosive cast. So that makes Xiao go on a higher mobility champion. And even if you distortion away, if he casks you in a direction, you can just jump back to where it was. And so now these top laners are being picked last over and over again. That's where this emphasis is on the picks and bans here, is get our top laners what they're comfortable on and what they can win the game with. So another Vladimir for California Trolls, another 3-peat.
He's loving it. Slushy's been changing it up. Dodo enjoying that play on Leona. He's going to get himself some more game there. Ackerman goes back to the Renekton. We saw this Vladimir-Renekton matchup coming in. It did not work out good for Ackerman. He was on his heels pretty good amount of the time, even before Vladimir hit level 7 and level 9. And the CS kind of went back in favor of Ackerman. That's what Renekton's going to do, and he's behind. He wants to farm, but hopefully Teammate can get the kills they needed. I don't think Guess is going to come out with 4 kills in the early game this time.
You never know.
It'll be a little different.
You never know.
You never know, though.
He was ganking top, where Vladimir doesn't have a lot of gank assistance, but he was still pulling off kills with the flash Vault Breaker. Then he goes immediately down bottom in game 1 and just controls the map. But then No Name, game 2, it was all about his Elise. Game 3, I'm looking to see who comes out as the rising star of this game. And now it's LMQ, those huge juggernauts with the most points currently, against Teammate, newly formed team. New role swaps, too. And they are giving LMQ a run for their money. Only team to take a game off of them in the Challenger Series ever.
It's got to feel pretty good. The momentum is definitely a big thing coming into game 3. Now, we've had a long day. These guys have been playing their hearts out, getting practice ready for this game. It's been a long day for them. And sure, the third one is just really resting on all of their nerves right now. This is going to be a big matchup, especially for Teammate. Like we said, we are 1-1 here in our best of 3 of the night. Looks like we're going to be having that Shlushi now on to Gragas. Talked about it a little bit. It's not as Riven. Maybe they can get the kills in the early game. We saw what Reginald did on Gragas earlier today as well versus Link. On that Lulu, was able to get some good damage down right away, so still the kill potential is there in the early game.
Yeah, and Gragas is Slushy's most played in solo queue. That's his baby. That's what he carries with when it's up to him. And Xiao's LeBlanc it's up there. I think we're going to see some high mobility outplay with both of these champions in the mid lane. Very different than the farmers we saw the last 2 games, with Kassadin and Orianna being in the mix both times. The Riven was a little aggressive, but that's been banned out since. And now, very aggressive mid laners, very aggressive junglers. This game is just going to be 2 forces just smashing at each other, seeing who's going to bend, who's going to break first, and then taking little advantages. I wouldn't be surprised if it's back and forth, because they both excel in the same areas here.
Looks like Slushy's just getting warmed up, dancing in the brush under mid lane. Cali Trolls back on to Ghost this game. Doesn't have a Jarvan to worry about. Happy to get that summoner back in his belt. We'll see a little roam bottom here. Unless they're just going to protect, or they actually want to go for blue. Looks like No Name is staying behind.
They were pinging this bottom bush since they spawned. So there might be something here that No Name wants. They see that Guess is top. They pinged that, and now...
There's a ping with that ward that he placed as well. That was actually Vladimir's ward.
They're going to invade. They're going to get a blue for nothing here for LMQ. It's a free blue.
Without anybody in the bottom lane, we'll see what happens. If we have Guess trying to dip down across the river, he is going to be walking, unless he can get a Q right over the wall, he's going to be walking through that ward, and they may be able to come back and counteract it. A little bit of back and forth here. Both teams trying something new in the beginning, or I should say, LMQ trying something new in the beginning of the game on the 3rd game.
Yeah, they had that early game aggression. Moore had his stun up from leveling up the Incinerate. And now, Guess, he's going to roam straight to his next buff after clearing the Wraiths. That ward in the river would have seen him if he had gone over to the blue. And now No Name is actually going to cover that and take both blues back to back. Or he could hand it off to Xiao Xiao. He's multiple options here for his team.
Very interesting play. We'll see how Guess comes out of this one. Definitely won't have the levels he had last game, but he does have the CS. So he's trying to go strong. He will be a few, or a level ahead, I should say, of No Name as it comes time. Very early in the game still. Gets around to pick up the blue buff. He's still got red to go. See what these guys do. Guess 8 finds that he will not be getting much.
Yep. Turns the corner. He hasn't checked it just yet. Just walks straight by. Hasn't cleared it either, so the timer still not ticking on that sucker.
Yep. Considering that the bottom lane wasn't there, he's like, man, I'll just go for Wraith right away. And yeah, timer will not be cleared. Very cheeky play here by LMQ to leave that up and expect that Guess would not fully check.
And it looks like Guess, he's actually going straight for the aggression with the red buff onto bottom lane. There's no wards here from LMQ. They had used them previously. And
that was a level 2. That would have been big. That would have been a lot of damage. It was a flash Q. Guess was priming it. Looks like they won't get anything. Level 3 comes in. Moore looks to be 1 CS off. He's still waiting to get it. No Name is going to pick up his buffs, and they do find it. So it'll at least be around 9 minutes they're able to go for that blue buff.
Yeah, and LMQ won't have the timer either, so they're not able to...
That's true. You kind of lose that effect.
We've seen teams before where they try to counter jungle. You know, Vasily
look like much what he wanted, but you can see they're playing it very calm. Gets that damage straight. The Ignite goes down from Dodo here. They're going to take some extra damage on the way out.
It actually looks like Guess is off here on the wings. Or sorry, No Name's off here on the wings. If Maple Street and Dodo go aggressive again, and it's a Leona, as soon as Zenith Blade is up, he's going to use it. That's pretty much how it goes.
Oh, well, it looks like they go onto Maple Street before they are ready to use the Zenith Blade. Very well played on top of the game. LMQ, first blood.
Moore calls the shots, says, I'm flashing. I'm flash stunning. Better follow up. And now, first blood goes over, and they have a 1,200 gold lead here for LMQ, just from the first blood, and 2 assists on it. And the CS across the board. Ackerman, he's not falling for what he did last time. His Renekton's actually, pushing the entire time.
Yeah, Cali Trolls had this in his favor in our previous matchup. But it looks like Ackerman staying in the face of Cali Trolls is forcing him to use Transfusion on minions. He can't really fight back to Ackerman. He's going to miss out on all his CS when he gets to the turret. So good slices and dices out to be a menace in that top lane to a lane he lost in the first game. 7.5 to 6.2 right now in favor of LMQ. We haven't seen much aggression from the mid lane, unfortunately, even though it's a LeBlanc and a Gragas.
You always want those opportunities, too. When you lose to something in a game 1, just like,
Get
put me in,
revenge.
coach, I'll do it again. But I'll do it better this time. I'll win. So he's getting that opportunity. And now No Name might be giving Ackerman a little bit of a helping hand up here.
See what he can do. He's a bit behind in CS, but he has that kill. It's kind of what Guess was going through the other game. Had a lot of kills, but he didn't have much CS. Actually, I'm sorry, that was Slushy on Riven. Yeah. He was roaming. See, Slushy not doing too good. 43 to 26 in that CS in the mid lane. Usually Gragas is the high CSer here, but you can see that Zhao has the mechanic ability.
No Name's actually going to run into Slushy here. I mean, Guess? Got Slushy in my head. No Name and Guess are actually going to meet each other. No Name has been camping around for a while, so he's down a level on Guess, whose Vi is extremely potent. But we do have a level 6 Ackerman.
Smite it down. Vasily staying safe at the bottom lane. See level 4 and pretty healthy on the side of Team 8. Both in that bottom lane are just trying to keep Vasily at bay. We see Maple Street again going even in this lane. That late game carry is obviously going to be in favor of the Caitlyn damage and those headshots. So I'll have to see. Both of these teams kind of not falter in the late game. But Ackerman's going to be more of a tank coming in, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah, they're looking to chase down here. That's why he got the Zerker's Greaves first. So he's going to have the extra movement speed as opposed to sustaining himself. He's just going to rely on his runes to do that. Whereas Maple Street, better situation there with the Vamp Scepter, but he's going to take harassment from the long range Caitlyn 650, 625 Annie, much more than the melee Leona and the 550 Lucian. So every time Maple Street walks up, he's going to take some harassment. Whether it's from Moore or Vasily.
Looking around at more CS. 5 for Dodo, none for Moore. What a lead. No, I'm just kidding.
You go, Moore.
Looking to build the Sightstone still in that bottom lane. Not much vision is being had except, or unless they have the trinkets up, which not very often right now. They're trying to keep No Name out of that bottom lane. But they're also using a lot of consumables, so that's going to keep that gold away. Wow. Pulling out the Hemo plate. Can he get one transfusion down? Ooh. Oh, he gets the Tides of Blood over the wall and the flash as well. Cali Troll's coming up big there.
The Ghost pays off on Vladimir. His cooldowns are so low that you can get the rotation off multiple times against somebody like Renekton, who has to be close to you to even use Slice and Dice. You can just chase him down because of the duration. And we see it there. He even gets the flash. So we thought the lane was going well for Ackerman. He's up. He was up 20 CS. Really wasn't going too well.
No.
Cali Troll sticks it to him immediately.
And Cali had to change his build this time as well. Usually he turns those ability tomes into the revolver, but not this time. He goes Seeker's Arm Guard as they go cat and mouse by each other here. Looks like this could be big for Cali Trolls. They know his summoners are down. They want to get a little money back on that kill.
He's so strong, though. He's going after No Name.
He says, yeah, you want to fight? But it looks like he may go down here. Ackerman's going to get a piece of this. Dives into the fight. Nicely has a bit of rage to be used there, and they all get a piece of it. Kill going over to Zhao, and the roam begins from LeBlanc.
The pool will not stop the chains from going off.
That's right, yeah, chains.
You have to pull before, but it still goes straight through.
Always looks funny when you got it on a lease, and you see it go up to the sky and then fall back down. It's like the blue buff being picked up now. Ackerman's going to give a little bit of an assist on that. Almost swings at it as Distortion comes in. Zhao gets it, though, with that burst.
And the Blues actually get taken at the same time, despite that early game where the blue timer was really off.
Equals out, even though it wasn't set right in the beginning.
Yep.
0 turrets still. Definitely slow on the structure game this time. Champion kills are what they are farming. The game is 1-1 if you missed the past 2 games. Hell of a matchup both times. You would have thought seeing either of those games it was going to be a quick 2-game best-of-3 series, but it is not. Somehow it was a mirror image of what Team 8 did to LMQ on the second game. And now both teams have the momentum to come out with this win. Early game has not shown us much, though. 2 kills, yes, going in for LMQ, but nobody has made a big move to tilt the scales.
No Name has his Grand Skyfall, has not used it yet. And same with Guess. He's off on the side of bottom lane, trying to get an assault and battery. They have a pink ward in this bush just to make sure that the ganks will not be seen. But it looks like it might be a dragon move here for LMQ.
Not more careful play in this game, that's for sure. Saw fights all over the map, one after the other in game 1. Game 2 slowed down a little bit more, and now you can see the teams, as they go for Dragon, really feeling how tense it's getting. They need to initiate, and they do go in. No Name, however, Gets himself a little too far from the team on that one. Good initiation coming in. More could be going down on this. Team 8, wait a minute. Pulling out on the Dragon. Could go back for it.
It's a great flash vault breaker by Guess. He's really good at those. He flashes over the Dragon Pit wall to the left, goes straight into Moore, picking up that kill, locking him down for his team. Dragon does go over to LMQ.
Yep.
If the smite had been there for Team 8, they would have evened up the gold. But now we still have that 1.7k gold difference between these two teams, which is a lot closer than the past 2 games.
Oh, he throws the calling on with the W, get that passive movement speed, but wait a minute, you can't tunnel too much on that. Flashes the Heartseeker strike, which is a heck of a lot of damage. Oh, the Pilt over Peacemaker as well. And it finally is No Name to come up with that. Ace in the hole. Is it enough? The flash goes out. The attacks come in. A double kill here for No Name. The man drop's going to be a lot. It looks like Guess will not get the red buff off of No Name, and he gets the cavalry to back him up.
That was so close. And Slushy in the mid lane taking a lot of punishment. And LMQ, they are just taking inch by inch here to get this lead. It's not like the previous games where it was just explosive and one team has a huge advantage over the other. They are keeping it even, taking it very, very slowly. Moore, he's rotating towards mid lane, towards Slushy, has the Tibbers up. Looking for it.
His flash is down. He used his cast, but it did come back up. They're going quite hard there. He's got the cast. He looks like he's just going to hold hands with Tibbers.
This might bait Slushy into going even further. Ackerman's in trouble again.
Oh, the Ghost just used, and it looks like he's going to be able to keep in range. The Call of the Meek not giving him enough sustain to keep in this one. He's going to do what he can to play some bush trickery, but Calitroll's coming up big, and he has an escape with 2 turret shots to the backside.
And Shao is actually coming up the side. They see him. Guess is off. He's coming in.
Double distortion, chain, 1, 2, 3, bada bang, bada boom. A little bit, there was like a bada bang in there too. It was an extra.
Yeah.
Took a little bit longer.
The chain, once again, going through the Sanguine Pool.
Yep.
You have to use Sanguine Pool before the Ethereal Chains connects, and then it won't lock you up. Would have been a little bit of a better situation. Maybe could have had Guess close that distance and Assault and Battery in. But
then it happens when you go in and you pool, and then LeBlanc's just staring at you like, okay, now chain.
Yeah.
It's always so hard, especially with having Ghost up too. Now, Jarvan can't take advantage of the Ghost, but LeBlanc sure can. She'll be making sure you pool and have to use it. But with it being down, Calitrolls did pick himself up a kill, but he pays for it. So it brings us to here 13.5 into the game with a 2.7 thousand gold lead coming in for LMQ right now. 5-4 as we get a few more kills, but still no structures. A lot of gold is sitting on the map.
Yeah, in Maple Street, every game, he cannot go toe-to-toe with Vasily here. And if he does, he's pretty much coming even. He has not been in a situation all 3 games where he is ahead. And if he is, it's just very barely. Vasily holds on. That first game, he had so many deaths. And now, once again, it's about the 2 junglers, No Name and Guess. No Name's doing more work, though. Part of every kill for his team, 4-1-1. And now, Guess, not having the snowball time he did last time. No Name's off on the side. Grand Skyfall is available. As soon as Moore gets that stun up, his Tippers is available. Sweeps out the ward, but they place one down 2. And they want, like, wards aren't going to do a whole lot against this Pantheon with Grand Skyfall.
Yeah.
Especially with the positioning.
He was looking for it.
I was talking about it earlier. When you have Pantheon, you want to gank bottom lane as much as possible because your ultimate is about 100% more effective.
All the
you
chances.
have more time. You have more targets to go after. And so No Name's actually using that over and over again. And he's actually very sluggish on picking up the blue buff for Shao. Because Team 8, their first blue buff was very late on clearing. They just gave it over to Slushy, and now No Name is doing his own red buff, and Shao doesn't have his blue buff up against a blue buff Gragas.
Yeah, that's going to be big, especially with the Drunken Rage fueling him up with a little bit more of that mana, so he's not going to have any problems. Yeah. He is, however, still down. Gragas versus LeBlanc. Usually that's the Gragas win lane in CS, but 144 to 128. Shao is playing it quite well, even with the roam coming in. Like we said about No Name's Pantheon, he's definitely giving Guess's Vi a harder time. If you didn't see game 1, Guess had a double kill in the bottom lane, a double kill in the top lane, and his Vi was pretty much producing the same results that No Name is right now. These guys are just trading pretty much games results back and forth.
They're
Crazy.
looking bottom so much right
Yeah.
now, to the point that Ackerman had to give up some CS to help Xiao do his blue buff because No Name wasn't going to go that direction. And look, here it comes straight on to Guess.
You can only do this if you have enough wards in the jungle, and they do. The last auto attack coming in. The calculated double buff goes over to Xiao, and it looks like they want some more. Back past the turret, it's not even there for them. They're going to keep going for the kills. Like I said, little structures, a lot of kills.
The communication here for teammate, it's not where it needs to
Oh,
be.
dear. Oh, that's pretty damn sweet right there. Leapfrogging each other to the other side actually helps Dodo, and it helps No Name, so they're both better off.
I think No Name would have liked to kill, though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
It would be a scary dive, especially with the Slushy coming in. Things are going to get a little chaotic. Gold lead is going in favor of LMQ over and over. They started this 1 minute ago. They had Dragon Timer. They said, let's create chaos in the bottom lane. We can start get positioning, put the pieces in place. And when Dragon comes up, unfortunately, we have everybody in base.
Yeah. No Name, no Grand Skyfall. Oh, they're going for the smite, though.
Yeah, so that will now be able to equal them Dragon. It shouldn't be too hard. The double buff is something that, Guess wanted back, but again was used against him.
And now that the smite's down, No Name and all of LMQ can go ahead and get this Dragon without that fear. Of course, there is a Gragas still. A lot of steal potential with the barrel roll explosive cast. But they're zoning off Slushy. He has a minion wave to deal with here. And it's going to go over to LMQ. Again.
Good smite coming in from No Name. Actually, didn't even smite it.
Maple Street.
Uh-oh, they got his number. He is going to be safe on this one, though. Level 9, he's doing all right. He is actually a level behind Vasily right now, and 2 levels behind No Name, who is trying to get on his backside as well. But he gets out in the nice suit coat, continues to farm. 154 to 117 in that lane. This game has not been one of those, like the past 2, where Maple Street's been able to keep even.
Yeah, Vasily is an immense farmer. We talked about his KDA in the last spring series. He had more assists than Xiao, but at the same time, very close in kills, very close in deaths, only being 2 off of him.
Yeah.
And, oh man, down bottom, just so much pressure here from all of LMQ. They're basically leaving top on an island because Ackerman, he can kind of deal with Cali Trolls now. He knows this matchup 1 game better than he did previously, and it's definitely paying off. He isn't as vulnerable as before.
Yeah. See what Xiao can do. He's now trying to control the game. This is really the first time we saw him doing this. Ooh. There we go. On to Slushy. It's going to be the 1-2. They play it so patiently. No reason to really get all hyped up. LMQ's doing what they need to right now. So when they go for the Baron, that's when we have to look for it getting scary. So the man drops are going to be coming in. Whoa! That looks super sweet. Ackerman just flying through, turning on Dominus at the same time, puts his prey in, twists it about. Going to come up with a kill there onto Cali Trolls. He sensed blood in the water. He got it.
He used his ghost, too, when he was in the pool, actually coming out of it. And then he gets stunned by the flash from No Name. And he gets stunned by No Name. The flash was used in the mid to close that distance. And Slushy got taken out by a burst from Xiao, who went Athene's Unholy Grail as opposed to the DFG. And, it's the duel again.
Another duel? Does he have the ace in the hole? He does this time, but he doesn't want to wait to put it
I just want to close the distance.
Oh, wait, the barrier! It's going to go back and forth again! Oh, no! Why do you have to interfere, Dodo? That's so unfair!
Once again, going to Maple Street, this matchup. That time he hit the Piltover Peacemaker.
Yep.
Which was all the difference. And it was good by Maple Street to read the ace in the hole, but man, LMQ, they want vengeance for that one.
We're going to clear out this pink ward. I like that pink ward that teammate had placed in that tri-brush. Now they're going to be using everything they can in the sweeper division to get that out. Looking at Dodo still. Talisman of Ascension coming up. He does have the Sight Stone, trying to build into the boots of mobility that Moore already has. And we've seen, by Moore's terms, they will initiate fights when Flash Tibbers is up. Or even just flash and he can get an Incinerator. Disintegrate. Either or, he's stunning somebody.
Yeah. Just getting a priority target. Typically Maple Street so far.
Typically, it's a good one.
Oh, and Guess going after Xiao.
He should be safe here, but he is running the opposite direction. He's going to get a flash over the wall. Shoot. was going to say, Slushy, that would have been quite an aggressive follow, but with Vladimir there, it may have been something.
If Guess had made contact with the Vault Breaker,
Yeah,
it would have been
after,
enough
quick
lockup.
pop.
It would have been the third charge of the denting blows. Big chunk there. But, oh, we have Xiao off on the side, too.
Locks him over the wall, comes Xiao. It's not going to be enough. There's not enough follow-up. Wait, here from the top lane comes Ackerman. Calitrolls picks one up. Now in a 2v1. Cannot soak up enough. What? Oh, he's forced in by Moore's roam. That's more than once that he has been in the right spot at the right time, leaving Vasily in the bottom lane because he can fend for himself.
Yeah, they just keep abandoning this bottom lane. The supports might as well be supports for mid laners. It's really what's happening here. They're just leaving Lucian and Caitlyn by themselves. Vasily versus Maple Street. We're getting some good highlights from it, but I don't know how much impact they're actually having on this game. There'll be like one team fight that they're involved in at the end. And Vasily, go do some Matrix.
Back at it again. The ward goes in. You're going to have to watch for that ace in the hole. He still has it. If he can hit a Peacemaker and get that headshot charged up, it's everything he wants. But he uses the headshot. Looks like they stay off each other's backs just for now. 201 right now, 4-0 for and Xiao, his most powerful game here in this best of 3, and he has been showing it and also putting the team on his back once again. Can't not give credit to No Name as well. 5-2-5. He's also been playing stellar.
Yeah, and I was looking at Maple Street's build. He has the Avarice Blade, which typically isn't an item that Lucians pick up unless they're going for the Yumus.
Didn't he used to do that on Twitch? Wasn't he the one to buy Avarice Blade on Twitch?
So, but oh no,
he
hit a trap.
Huzzah! 100 HP left. Doesn't have a Peacemaker net to get himself into range. He also has Vi there, so Maple Street was kind of calculating the damage himself, trying to get in the head of Vasily and say, yeah, you completely have the upper hand. It's safe to kill me. Doesn't get the chance,
I think we might be giving a little too much credit for that.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun with these guys. 12-6 right now, 22.5 minutes into the game. 2 turrets for LMQ. We finally start getting some of these structures down the map. Beginning to open up. Vision for T8 means it's going to start falling away. We'll see what they can do. They have immaculate warding. They always do. So with those turrets going down, it shouldn't affect them that much. If you just look at the map, it's pretty much red all over.
Yeah, they have so much vision coverage here. And the game has been not as explosive as the previous 2. Everybody playing it a little more methodical. LMQ still in the lead by a good margin now. And looks like Moore, he wants some of Maple Street. Come get some more.
Oh, they got the drop. The man drop as well. The Grand Skyfall. Grand indeed. Comes with a teddy bear. Going to be going down. Maple Street gets hit up for his 4th death of the game, and that's going to be really triggering that CS lead coming in for Vasily. He has been on the map for such a long time. Level 13 now compared to the level 11 of Maple Street. When you don't die, you get all that experience.
Oh, yeah. Just gank bottom. Put their AD carry behind.
Yep.
Force him into the mentality that he's going to farm. Pick up dragons afterwards. If the support's there too, then you have 2 people to pick off. And the Avarice Blade that Maple Street has, it could be also for a static Shiv, which isn't really the best item on Lucian. You get more attack speed from Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, interesting.
Could be going for the wave clear. I'm not sure. Or he just has the Avarice Blade because he wants to farm. It's quite possible, but regardless of that, they're going to lose more turrets. 4-0 in the favor of LMQ. 10K gold lead now coming out.
That 10,000 gold lead is big. Also, from across both games, well, we have an initiation, and it's not going to be for long. No Name goes down. A nice assault and battery goes to Moore, taking Guess over the wall in a quick pursuit, and they do get that. A little police brutality come in and take down Moore.
It's just a little girl.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
They got to do what they got to do. It's down to that moment. Like I was saying, Ackerman may fight, may have to go back into the fight here. I wasn't saying 15-15. Calitrolls has the ghost on. He also has Guess 8 coming up on the backside as a Vault Breaker gets him over the wall, but he can't break the train. Xiao follows. A beautiful attack coming in. The counter engage. Slushy over the wall. Doesn't get too much damage on that. Almost takes out Xiao. That's the clone running in right now. And he ults the clone. What a great play by Xiao. Do they have enough now to punish the ultimate being down? Ackerman's trying to go real deep, but it's too deep, and he doesn't have his swimmies on.
All right, let me just collect myself for a second. The clone from Xiao. The control on that. Baits
that was
the
quick
barrel.
Thinking. That was real quick thinking.
Wow. Very well played there from both sides. And the chain over the wall, locking up Guess, just stopping his pursuit and allowing Ackerman to turn it around, but Ackerman a little too bloodthirsty. He wants to get in this game. I talked about how he's normally like a playmaking top laner on those tanky tops. He plays passive for like the first 15 minutes. Then he shows up mid for no reason. You're just like, why is he here? And then he kills the mid laner, locks him up, then they'll get a turret off of it. That's the typical playstyle from LMQ. So Team 8, they're bringing something different out of them now. And Ackerman, he's just getting tankier. Got the Hydra.
Yep.
It takes so much to take him down.
Now.
Saw him dive so deep.
So what I was saying before is when LMQ had the gold lead, that Team 8 also had in their game this gold lead now, about 10,000 gold. LMQ won the game much more definitively. They were able to start finding the turrets. We said this game has been a lot of kills coming out. When they wanted 4 turrets, they picked up 4 turrets without Team 8 answering on that level just yet. 2,000 gold lead just for Xiao in the mid lane. He's doing really what he needs to for this team. A 3,000 gold lead for No Name over Guess 8 in the jungle.
Yeah, he's got 6 more kills than anything that Guess has. Guess is sitting at 0-3-5, 6-3-5 there. All of LMQ are sitting in this bush waiting. Maple Street's down bottom. He has been farming all 3 games. There's just been multiple times where he is pushing turrets. And LMQ, they're gonna get a catch here.
That gold is ridiculous. Evenly distributed 2,000 average gold leads for all the lanes of LMQ right now. Moore is 800 gold up above Dodo. So he's doing it. Doesn't have quite the investment plan as everybody else on the team right now, but he's definitely getting some gold. Turret's going to be going down here. It's going to be the man drop, and so many times we see the lead-in fight coming in. There's so much chase from LMQ, and they are able to get into the fight, but that was a beautiful cast onto the entire team. Ackerman's trying to close everyone out of this fight, and he's doing a great job of it. A double kill coming in for Xiao. He puts himself up even more gold, more kills at 6-0-5. The turret's taking shots, and Team 8 is just really considering whether to give it up, fight on it, and they have to give it up.
It's been a 4v5 this entire time.
Yeah.
Maple Street's been pushing bottom lane non-stop. They're going to give up an inhibitor here, and LMQ, if they can turn this around and pick somebody else off, they might take the game.
Could be very big. The Piltover Peacemaker just missing. It could have continued the fight. Xiao is going to dodge out on the calling. Oh, he gets the chain on the first minion. Playing body block there for Maple Street. They do have to go across town for him, but they get him off of it after he takes down the inhibitor turret. A very nice job. Teammate really gets a little bit out of losing a lot there.
Yeah, and now they'll have minion waves pushing into their base. It's one of just tiny, minute differences between which inhibitor gets taken. The top one is arguably the closest to Baron, so it's not as bad as a bottom inhib. But now they have minion waves pushing into their base constantly. LMQ, if they don't take advantage of that, Team 8 can just continue to farm. They now have an exposed inhibitor down bottom, which means if Team 8 make a move for that, then Baron could fall into LMQ's hands. So there's a lot of different contingencies here. So the focus right now is really what are these junglers and mid laners going to do? And is Maple Street going to continue to split push?
I think he might have to. At this point, if any of them
so
approach Xiao, especially once he finishes the Deathfire Grasp, it's complete and instant annihilation.
Something more.
Almost nobody has the gold on Team 8 right now to stand up against that Xiao's LeBlanc.
Yeah. 6-0-5. Can blow up anybody. I don't think there's a single magic resist item on anybody here.
Oh.
And they're all very
Sky
squishy.
falls a little back. Ooh. He also puts on the Ghost. Sanguine Pool gives you a tad bit of speed. It doesn't make you run a lot faster, but with Ghost on, it could be the thing you need to get out. Cali Trolls isn't going to have enough speed, though. All of LMQ puts on the afterburners, and they're there for the 2 assist, 1 kill coming in. Maple Street to the mid lane. He's got to be careful of how much health he has at any point right now, because half health, any member on Team 8, are kills for LMQ.
And LMQ, they're going to look for this Baron. They got 1 person down. It's still stealable, but because they have such a gold lead right now, even if it gets stolen away for 1 or 2 kills, and it's so late in the game at 30 minutes, they can push and get 2 turrets for it. They can get on the back of it. Vasily, oh no, the ulti! The Gragas is down.
Not even going for the attempt. They know that losing the fight with more than a few people would cost the entire game. Team 8 has been forced into this position. LMQ has everything they want right now, and it looks like they're going to have the win in this best-of-3 series. Could be one final push for the Baron after they get these turrets, Irene.
And it'd be very tragic for Team 8, but...
Yeah.
Yep.
Maple Street should have kept split pushing, unfortunately. I guess he didn't have a choice, though. Goes down on that one. It looks like they're going to get the inhibitor turret as well. So big right now. They get the lockdown onto Slushy. The chain still locks in with a body slam. It's going to be a heyday for LMQ inside the base right now. Really getting their game on after getting the momentum of the second game. It's what they needed. If they get the ace, the double kill coming in for Zhao Wei Zhao. 9-0-6 on the game. Highest farm in the game as well at 286. Whole team had a lot of contribution coming into this one. 22-9 at 31 minutes into the game. LMQ takes the best of 3 versus Team 8.
And I hope they're saying GG, because that was a great set between these two teams. We see somebody takes a game off of LMQ, which has not been done before in the Challenger Series, and put a really good fight. And it's a little tragic because Team 8, they didn't participate in the first Spring Series, so they have no points, and they only walk away with 2, which most likely means we won't see them in the postseason, despite them being such a strong team.
And I like the way LMQ kind of shifted directions, or I should say shifted gears. They had a composition that came out in the first few games where their lanes lost, and the mid lane was kind of there to be a support for mediocre to winning lanes, or he was not going to carry the game herself at that point. And then they kind of tried it again, and then he's like, you know what, I'm just going to go full carry, says Zhao Wei Zhao. And he did, with the help of No Name. Second time on Pantheon there. They really got their coordination together in that last game, because last time they were on blue side, it was a quick game for them to go down.
Oh yeah, the champion select process all throughout these 3 games was very different than what we typically see, but these teams were definitely respecting each other through and through from start to finish. Just, I think, one of the most exciting series we've had here on the Challenger Series.
That was fantastic. I'm used to all the best of ones in the LCS, so this was a really great game to get tonight. With tonight's quarterfinal series in our match history, let's take a look at the freshly rendered bracket. LMQ has advanced to the semifinals for the 2nd straight Challenger Series, while Team 8 will have to wait and see if their 2 points are good enough for the postseason berth. Zhao Wei Zhao and crew will play the winner of Sunday night's match. That's between LOL Pro and VVV Gaming.
And the bottom half of the bracket features both of Complexity's Challenger squads. Complexity Red will take on Curse Academy, while Complexity Black will battle Cloud9 Tempest. And once again, just a heads up, even though the LCS isn't showing in its dark next week, both of these matches will take place starting on March 13th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which in Germany is 2 a.m. on March 14th.
It's pretty early.
Mark your calendars, guys.
I like watching Late Night League, though. Coming up tomorrow, it's day 3 of the North American Super Week. Kicking off the festivities, it's XDG versus Team Solo Mid with Counterlogic Gaming and Team Coast coming up second.
And then, once the pros wrap up their day, the challengers take to the Rift with Nijaki and LOL Pro taking on Chris and VVV Gaming. Day 3 of the North America LCS Super Week kicks off on Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central European Time.
And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's broadcast. But before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. And now for myself, Zyrene, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Have a great night.